Hey guys, this is Camplified, and in this video we will talk about the reactions of alkyl halide. Let's start. Now the first reaction of alkyl halide is when ethyl bromide is treated with nascent hydrogen, that is single hydrogen atom, it gives ethane. It is a direct reaction. There are two hydrogens taken. One hydrogen will take the position of bromine and HBr will be removed. So you will get ethane. Second reaction is named reaction, Wood's reaction. When ethyl bromide, or in place of bromide I can write X, where X represent all the halogens, right? When ethyl bromide is treated with sodium, I repeat, when ethyl bromide is treated with sodium, we get butane. Chain expansion is there. The two sodium atom will take out bromine in the form of NaBr, and two NaBr will be removed, and this carbon will make bond with other carbon of ethyl bromide. So these two carbon will get attached together and will form butane. This is the second reaction. Third reaction, when ethyl bromide is treated, now look at the third and fourth reaction together. In both these reaction, our reactant is same, our reagent is also same, only condition is different. In one case it is aqueous KOH, in second case it is alcoholic KOH. Whenever you find aqueous KOH, you will go for substitution reaction. Ethyl bromide when react with aqueous KOH, substitution reaction take place, and OH will take the position of bromine and KBr will be removed. So in this case you will get ethyl alcohol. But if alcoholic KOH is there, then elimination reaction will take place. This OH will attack this hydrogen and leave the lone pair on the hydrogen, and this lone pair will get transferred between the two carbon atoms, leaving and bromine will act as leaving group, and you will get ethylene, right? So in third reaction, that is when aqueous KOH is there, substitution reaction will take place. Alcoholic KOH, in case of alcoholic KOH, elimination reaction will take place. Remember that. Now let's move to the next. Now again take a look at fifth and sixth reaction. In both the cases our reactant is same, ethyl bromide. In first case we have KCN, and in second case we have AgCN. Now the products are different. KCN is ionic in nature. Since it is ionic in nature, it will preferably form K plus and Cn minus, where negative charge will be present on carbon. So this carbon will attack the carbon attached to the halogen, and halogen will be removed, and you will get ethyl cyanide. So the bond formed between the cyanide group and the carbon, right? So you will get ethyl cyanide. In case of AgCN is kind of covalent in nature, right? So the attack will take place from nitrogen. This nitrogen will now attack the carbon, and you will get ethyl isocyanate. So remember, these two reactions are really important. Remember that KCN is ionic and AgCN is covalent in nature. That's why two different kinds of products are formed, right? I hope I am clear. Let's move to the next. Now again take a look at seventh and eighth reaction together. Our reactant is ethyl bromide or alkyl halide. In first case we have AgNO2, that is silver nitrate, right? And in second case we have KNO2. Now again this is covalent in nature and this is ionic in nature. It will preferably form K plus and NO2 minus, where negative charge will be on oxygen. Look at the structure given below. Negative charge will be on oxygen, and in this case this is covalent in nature, so the lone pair will attack. In this case nitrogen will form bond with the carbon, and in second case oxygen will form bond with carbon. The reason, you can see that oxygen here have a negative charge and it will attack. So in this case covalent character and ionic character will decide the nature of the product. So the first in the seventh reaction you will get nitroethane, and in the eighth reaction you will get ethyl nitrite, right? I hope this is clear. Let's move to the next. In the ninth reaction, when ethyl bromide is treated with silver carbonate in presence of water, you will get ethyl alcohol plus silver bromide as PPT. This is as precipitate, and carbonic acid will be there. In the look at the 10th reaction. When ethyl bromide is treated with magnesium in presence of dry ether, you get C2H5 MgBr. This is your ethyl magnesium bromide also known by the name Grignard reagent. This reaction is really important because it gives you the formation of Grignard reagent. Let's move to the next. Look at the 11th reaction. This is also important. It goes by the name amino dehalogenation. What happens in this reaction is when alkyl halide, in our case ethyl bromide, when treated with NH3, that is ammonia. Now ammonia has 3 hydrogen atoms. What is going to happen is one hydrogen will go away with bromine as HBr, right? And the first product formed is primary amine, that is CH3CH2 NH2, right? Now the primary amine so formed in the first step will again react with ethyl bromide, and the second hydrogen will be removed with Br, and this C2H5 group will be attached to the nitrogen, and you get secondary amine. Now this secondary amine again react with ethyl bromide, right? And the third hydrogen will be removed with Br, and CH3CH2 will be attached to the nitrogen, and you will get tertiary amine. Now again this tertiary amine react with ethyl bromide and gives you ammonium salt, right? This is your amino dehalogenation or aminolysis. So this is an important reaction because the reaction does not stop at the first possibility. There are 4 possible products which can be formed, right? So remember this reaction. Let's move to the next. Now the 12th reaction is ethyl bromide when treated with potassium hydrosulfide, it gives ethyl mercaptan. This is nothing but replacement of KOH. Oxygen and sulfur belong to the same group. So when KOH reacted, it forms alcohol. When SH reacted, it forms mercaptan, right? So that's how the reaction goes. Now this is a little bit different. When ethyl bromide is treated with sodium ethoxide, it gives diethyl ether, right? This sodium will take away the bromine. The bromine will then get itself attached with the oxygen and gives you ether. This is the 13th reaction. Let's move to the next. The 14th reaction is when ethyl bromide is treated with benzene in presence of AlCl3. The benzene group, bromine is removed with the help of AlCl3. What is the function of AlCl3? It acts as Lewis acid. It takes up bromine, right? Leaving positive charge. Now the benzene will attack the carbon and form ethyl benzene, right? The structure will be like this. This will be your ethyl benzene, right? Now 15th reaction, when ethyl bromide is treated with alkene in presence of aluminium bromide, you get butyl bromide. How you are getting this? This AlBr3 will take up the bromine atom, creating a positive charge. Now the double bonded electrons will attack the positive carbocation and will form a chain expansion, right? Sorry. No, it's correct. The intermediate formed will be CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH2 with a positive charge. Now since AlBr3 had taken a bromine atom, this bromine atom, and it will remove in the form of AlBr4 plus and minus. So the bromine will again move to this carbon, creating butyl bromide. So this will be your final product, butyl bromide. Let's move to the next. Now the 16th reaction, when ethyl bromide is treated with silver oxide, you will get alcohol. Now in both in 16 and 17 reaction, our reactant is same, reagent is also same, but the condition is different. In the first case, when moist silver oxide is taken, you will get alcohol. If dry silver oxide is taken, you will get diethyl ether. So remember these two different products on the basis of different conditions. Let's move to the next. Now this is the final page, the 18th and 19th reaction. When ethyl bromide is treated with sodium alkoxide, you will get ether, right? In place of R, you can write any alkyl group like CH3, C2H5 and so on, right? You will finally get ether. The last reaction is when ethyl bromide is treated with silver salt of acetic acid, you will get ester. In place of R, you can write any alkyl group just as the above reaction. right? The final product will be ester. So these are the 19 reactions which I was able to find, in which the reactant was alkyl halide. I hope I have made myself clear in this video. This will be it for today's video. Thank you for watching.